What is going on? How are y'all doing today? My name is Smokey and welcome back to another video. First off, I just want to apologize. This video is out a little bit later than I intended to. No excuses. I just had a couple things going on behind the scenes that wasn't allowing me to be able to get this video out when I wanted to. I wanted to get this out yesterday. I know it's a day late and I really want to apologize about that. But today's video is actually an updated review, kind of like a 3-week-ish review of the new exhaust, the new Corsas. I'll actually roll the windows up right now just so y'all can hear how dead silent it is in the car when you're just cruising. I mean, right now, you can hear, like if I step on it a little bit, and you can hear it a little bit back there, but I mean, it's very minimal. Now, this exhaust, honestly, this exact setup, the stainless power, high flow catted, long tube headers, mated with the Corsa Sport Exhaust system. This is honestly, a little stick in the road, this is honestly became my favorite exhaust setup on this car that I've heard. In my opinion, it's honestly perfect. It's not, I mean, it's quiet when I want it to be, but it's fucking loud when I want it to be. It's really, really nice because honestly, it gives me some, now this is honestly all up to a person's perspective, you know, all that. In my honest opinion, at certain RPMs, this car really reminds me of a GT350. Now, not all the time. I mean, obviously the exhaust tone isn't exactly the same, but there's a couple notes that this car gives off that sound pretty close to a GT350. I mean, it just has, compared to what it was before, it just has such a refined tone to it. I mean, just before, it was just loud. It was just in your face, ungodly loud, no tone at all, just absolutely just screaming. Versus now, I mean, it definitely has a tone. I think after me breaking it in, you know, getting on it hard, giving it a little bit of time to break in and all, it's really grown on me, and it's really came out to be such a monster of an exhaust. But it has just such a refined tone to it. Like, it's not, like I said, with the headers on it, it's obviously going to be louder than a regular Gen 3 with no headers, no nothing. But even with the headers, it still gives off a great tone. A couple of years back, when I was just looking at these cars, I pretty much told myself that I was never going to do long tube headers on this car because I always thought it sounded terrible. I always just thought it sounded super, super raspy, and I always thought it just sounded just fucking terrible, to be frank with you. But to be honest, dude, I mean, it sounds phenomenal. Like, mated with the right exhaust, doing headers on this car just sounds great. And I don't know, dude, there's something about the way that this thing sounds now that it sounds just, I don't know. With the way that this car sounds now, it's honestly made me fall in love with driving this car over again. I remember before, when I picked up my car from the shop that I had it installed at, I honestly was disappointed. To tell you the truth, I was disappointed. I'm like, well, damn, you know, I spent all this money trying to get my car. I thought it was going to sound amazing, and now it just sounds like this. It sounds quiet, doesn't really sound like much, and I fell out of love with the car. But now, with this broken in and how it sounds now, I mean, it truly sounds like a fucking monster. I mean, those downshifts are on fucking point. Let's see, we'll drop it into second for going around this thing. mean, even like, listen to this car lug. Like, that's what gives me GT350 vibes. It's just the car lugging. Just that sound right there. Just, oh my God, dude. I mean, I know, you know, exhaust is subjective, blah, blah, blah. But this car just, it really, I can't get over how good this fucking thing sounds now. Like I said, I mean, it's just, there's something about this car, it sounds just phenomenal. I know I've said that over and over and over again, but seriously, I love the way that this car sounds now, a lot, like a lot. Even slow shifting, that's what's really, really nice. I mean, you can slow shift this, you know, you could shift it at, you know, 1500 RPMs. I mean, it just kind of just slowly roll through the gears, like little to no load. I mean, you're pretty quiet. I mean, you're relatively close to stock. And actually, so the whole purpose of this video actually is somebody commented on one of my videos, one of the viewers, I'm trying to remember his name, I think it was like whiskey_6555. I'll throw the comment up right here. But basically he wanted me to do update a review of the exhaust as well as some shots of it. So I'll include a shot of the cold start here. And I'm also going to include a shot of the idle from outside right here. So this is what idle sounds like. Kind of forget the car. I know it's absolutely dirty. Pollen season right now is absolutely killer. But this is idle. It's down roughly, I think it's sitting at like 750 RPMs. It's really not that bad at idle. It still has a nice little rumble to it. But I mean, as you can tell, you can still hear me perfectly well, and it's not overbearing, it's not stupid loud. I honestly, you probably could barely hear it if you were inside the house. But I mean, this is highway speeds. I mean, you can barely hear anything in this car. I mean, let me roll the windows up, but I mean, that's if I get on it, but I mean, this is highway speeds. There's really not much sound at all to this car. It is really, really silent in the car. Like, the best way that I could describe it is it sounds like the sound is coming. It doesn't sound like the sound is like in here in the car. It sounds like all the noise is coming from behind me. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I know a few YouTubers have kind of compared it to that. I didn't want to try to use the exact same comparison. I couldn't really think of like a better way to explain it. It sounds like the sound is behind you. It doesn't sound like it's in the car. Versus back when I had the headers, I mean, it didn't have like a super nasty drone, not by any means, but it did sound like the sound was a little bit in the car with you. I mean, versus now, I mean, even when you get on it, it sounds like the sound is all behind you. If I were to be able to change anything, if I were to go back in time and stop myself from getting this exhaust, if I had the ability to, would I do it? And my answer is no. 100% no. Like, honestly, I mean, now, this setup to me sounds a lot better than what the old setup was, which the old setup was literally just, it was like MBRP muffler deletes and an MBRP resonator delete, and then just my long tube headers. I mean, it was loud. I mean, fuck. It was loud. Really, really just stupid, in your face loud. But that's all it was. I mean, realistically, that's all this car was just stupid loud, and that's it. Versus now, it just has a very, very refined tone. It actually has like a tone to it. And it's not overly loud, like it's just the perfect volume. Like I've said countless times, if I want it to be loud, it'll be loud. If I want it to be quiet, I mean, I just, you know, you can easily just keep it quiet. But I think that's gonna be it for today's video, y'all. I just wanted to thank y'all, each and every one of you, so very much for sticking with me, so very much for your continued and undying support of watching these videos. I can't tell y'all how much it truly means to me that y'all click on these videos and just stop and just spend 10, 15, you know, just between 10 and 15, almost 20 minutes sometimes, just spending that time with me and just chilling out, hanging out, and just watching my videos. Dude, I really can't explain to you how much that really means to me. It gives me the greatest feeling in the world to know that I can entertain some of y'all. But I love and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all take care, y'all be safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Smokey out.